What is going on, everybody? My name is Halvu, and this is the Halvu Moto Vlog. Welcome. I want to take a moment to express some gratitude for the now 700 and counting subscribers we have here on this channel. Thank you all so much for being a part of this. There's been an actual influx of positive comments lately, really engaging comments, and I truly appreciate that. It really fills my heart with joy that what I'm doing here resonates with you guys enough to not only appreciate it, but to leave comments. It feels really good, and it does energize me enough to just keep on doing this, keep on putting content out there, because 2 years ago, I was just a nobody. I was just no YouTube experience, no motorcycle experience, and I just went out and I bought a motorcycle. I didn't even know what the hell I was buying or what I was doing, and I bought a motorcycle, and I figured, man, if I'm going to spend thousands of dollars on a motorcycle, I might as well be able to help out in some way other people who might be in the same boat as me, absolute newbie about to spend thousands of dollars on this machine. And if they're anything like me, they want to consume all the content they can regarding this purchase that they're about to make, right? So for me, in the beginning of this channel, it was the 2021 CBR 500R, and there wasn't really anything out there about the 2021 CBR 500R. And newbie or not, beginner or not, I still had an opinion. I still bought it. I'm still riding this thing. So I know that someone out there in the market for one would appreciate that. At least one person might appreciate that, and it might help one person. And if it helps one person, then it was enough for me. I'd do it for that one person, no problem. It's not a big deal for me to strap a GoPro to my helmet and, ride around beautiful California and then go home and I sit down, I plug in my microphone to my phone and I just record podcast style. And that's how we do it on the Halvu Moto Vlog. That's how we've been doing it since day one. So if you appreciate that, and if you're able to take something from that, and if we're both able to leave here with a broader perspective, I mean, what more could I ask for? That means the world to me. And your guys' support and positivity, it means the world to me. So thank you so much for being a part of this. This is just like us sitting down, having a conversation, having a cup of coffee. I don't even drink coffee. I don't know why I said that. You can have coffee if you want. I'll make you a cup of coffee. But it's not true moto vlog style, guys. I don't want to bust your bubble there. For those of you who think that I'm riding and recording with the microphone and everything like that, I've tried that. I bought all the things for that. I've set it up. I just don't like it. I can't have a conversation and ride at the same time. I think it makes me less safe. It takes me away from my ride, and I have a hard time focusing on the ride, to begin with. So it just never comes out the way I want it to. I'm trying to create and stay on topic and, be coherent and engaging while I'm riding the motorcycle. It's just not for me. So this is how we do it here. I know there is a lost element to not being able to be with me, quote unquote, live as I ride the motorcycle. If you're into that, that's pretty much every other moto vlogger on YouTube. So here, maybe more appropriately, this is the Halvu Moto podcast. So again, thank you guys for being a part of this. I hope you all are doing very, very well. Let's get started. Video starts at 3:05, right? For all you impatient timestamp people. Can the KLX300 Supermoto go on the highway? Can X go on the highway is a question as old as time. Everybody always wants to know, especially these low displacement bikes, these beginner bikes. People always ask, can it go on the highway? It's a very popular topic on YouTube. So I'm going to try to come up with a very thorough video that will answer for sure the 300 Supermoto and give everyone a better idea, if you're asking this question about any bike, if it can go on the highway. So let's just start off by saying, me personally, my opinion is any modern day motorcycle that has 400 cc's or more can go on the highway. No questions asked. Whatever it is you mean by that, it can. So like my CBR 500R, people are always asking, does it have enough power? I heard it was slow. 80, 85 miles per hour easily can sustain those speeds. And at those speeds, it still has more than enough passing power to do what you would need it to do, right? So when I think of needing passing power on the highway, quote unquote needing, right? Passing like big trucks that you don't want to be next to, passing old grandmas, getting out of a hairy situation, or putting yourself ahead of the flow of traffic. Those are kind of the normal things that I would suspect when you're talking about passing. And yes, I would say any 400cc motorcycle, if you have that, yes, don't even worry about it. Don't even have that conversation. Now, if you're asking, can these 300s do it? Then, okay, maybe that's fair. Maybe we'll have a discussion about that, right? Especially the Hondas, the 300s are actually 286cc singles, which I have some experience with. I have ridden the 2011 250R, and I've ridden the 2019, I've owned the 2019 CB300R, and then currently my KLX300 Supermoto, right? They're all under 300 cc's. So if you're asking, can those bikes go on the highway? Well, it does depend. I don't want to give a blanket statement about all 300cc motorcycles and all the 250s because they're geared differently. Some are going to be geared for top end, and that's where they're going to shine. And then something like the KLX300 Supermoto, she's very fun downtown and in the city, very punchy and torquey in that low to mid. So it's obvious that she can't really shine, with the top end. It's just a compromise that you have to make. With these little engines, you can't have it all. So 75, I would say, is the magic number for the KLX300 Supermoto. For me personally, I don't like to ride it above 75 miles per hour. She gets to 75 just fine. No problem getting up to speed at 75 miles per hour. But when she reaches 75, the passing power kind of wanes considerably. So if you're in a situation where you're on the highway already, going 75 miles per hour, there's a Corolla right next to you going 80 miles per hour, and you need to pass it to make your exit, you might be better off just letting it pass you, slowing down a little bit and then taking your exit. If you're going to gamble and try to pass it, you better hope that Corolla doesn't speed up or they see your turn signal and they slow down, So that's kind of what I feel like. I'm 140 pounds, pretty much as light as they come. And, if you're considerably heavier, you might have different results, but just, take all this with a grain of salt. That's what I think. That's my magic number. I think above 75 even is when she starts to approach the upper limits of what she's capable of. I haven't done a top speed test yet, guys. When I'm in the mood and I find the right road, I'll for sure make a video because, people want to know that. And of course, I want to know that. It's my machine. I want to know the upper limits of it. But I would assume for me, after 85, she probably doesn't have that much left to give. And from 75 to 85, I just wouldn't want to be there just for an extended period of time. For me personally, some people like to hit it really hard. Some people like to baby their machines. I'm kind of somewhere in the middle, leaning towards, I will maybe take it to the top 80% of her abilities. And I probably wouldn't want to encroach past that line, just personally. And on another personal note, I just don't like to take the KLX300 Supermoto on the highway. Everywhere I go, I omit the highway. I bypass the highway. It adds like twice the travel time. But for me in California, it's worth it. The sun is always out. It's always a beautiful road. If I'm lucky, it's very well paved and windy. There's always something to see. Gas is like not even a question because it's so cheap on the KLX. So it makes total sense for me to just take the back roads, the country roads, and just enjoy my ride. I don't enjoy being on the highway on the KLX300 Supermoto. This is what it's like. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's exactly what it's like. It's a super light bike, and I'm just kind of chugging along, and if it's a heavy, windy day or there's big cars flying past me, I can feel it, and it's not comfortable. It's not very comfortable. There's no wind protection on the bike, so, it's not going to be, in terms of comfort, it's probably really, really low. In terms of motorcycles on the highway, right? The most comfort I would assume are those sports tours with the full wind protection, super heavy, super powerful, right? The old man bikes, as I like to call them, with all the creature comforts, XM radio, heated everything, cup holders, right? Old guys with the luggage, the hard luggage on every side of the motorcycle, enough to like go on vacation for 2 weeks. I can see how that'd be appealing. You're still on a motorcycle and you get all these comforts and these amenities that you wouldn't have otherwise. And that's how you're going to be the most comfortable. But the KLX is nowhere close to that. It's like a heavy bicycle on the highway. So, you are going to feel it, and it's not going to be the most comfortable, relaxing experience. So, if you're a commuter and you're into that comfortable, relaxing experience and you like to, listen to podcasts and just go along and save gas, then I would recommend you stick in the right lane and go 65, 70 if you can manage it. That's not always going to be possible depending on the highway that you're on. Here in California where I live, that's just like, if you're going 65 miles per hour, you're probably going to get passed a lot. You might even get some looks, depending on where you are. There's a lot of these like heavy highways where there's like two big highways meeting each other and people are going from one lane to like all the way like 5 lanes over. It's crazy. It's dangerous. It's unpredictable. I hate it. I really don't enjoy it at all. So, I just, keep that in mind. If you need to be doing a lot of that, you need to be staying 65, 70 if you want to have some passing power left in the tank. Now, if you can just be cruising along, then yeah, she'll probably be able to do that at 75 without stressing the engine too much. But me personally, I would not take it at 75 for over an hour. I just wouldn't want to do that, especially on the highway. So that's how I feel about that, guys. I will address the beginner riders who have never been on a motorcycle before, never been on anything powerful before. If you think that you're going to buy this bike and you've heard that it's quick and you think it's so light that you're just going to be able to get on the highway and just be like this little hornet just buzzing around, putting the bike exactly where you want it, please That's not how it is. And don't do that. Don't do that. Unless the highway that you're talking about, people are only going 60 miles per hour. Yeah, maybe you can get away with that. But the bike really shines in the low to mid range, downtown, under 60 miles per hour. That's where you're going to have the most fun on this motorcycle, right? Around town, yes. In the city, yes. You are going to feel like a little hornet buzzing and just in and out, putting that bike exactly where you want it. But on the highway, you're going to need a more powerful bike if that's what you want to do, right? If you want to kind of quote unquote bully all the other bikes on the highway and just be passing and weaving and getting yourself exactly, in first place ahead of the flow of traffic, this is not it. Don't buy a 300cc motorcycle. Regardless of how comfortable it is, it doesn't have enough power, it doesn't have enough top end to do that. So just get that out of your head if that's what you're thinking, guys, right? Just have realistic expectations. 300 cc's is at the bottom of the pack. Even modern day Civics and Corollas that are going to be on the highway at highway speeds, 70, 75, 80, 85, they're going to have much more pulling power than you, right? So you're going to be like this little baby fly going at 75 and not having much to give at that point. So that's what you're in for on the highway, guys. As far as comfort on the highway, that's to each his own kind of thing. For me personally, I don't enjoy it. So if you don't have any experience and you hop on this thing and that's all you have and that's all you know and you absolutely need to be on the highway, that's it. You're going to have to either put up with it or you make the decision that you're not going to take the highway anymore. But at least you can go into it with all this in mind. I'll share some footage right now with me going to Livermore to the Total Control Advanced Riding Clinic. It's just these back roads, country roads, hilly roads, very, very beautiful. It was a 55 mile per hour, 1-lane road. And, I'm at the top of the pack because, at this heavy intersection, the line was super, super long to turn left onto this road. So I cut the line. I went all the way up front, not necessarily, wanting to be up front. Just, I wanted to make the next green light, right? Otherwise it would have been 2 or 3 turns until I made that light. So I was at the front of the pack and there's this white Corolla behind me and I'm going 70 and he's kind of like on me, right? I can feel it that he wants to go faster. And if it were a 2-lane road, he would definitely pass me, right? I don't love feeling that way. It's kind of like anxiety for me, I just don't like it, especially on a bike like this. If I was on the 600, I would just blast past him and just not have to worry about it or, speed ahead of him. And so 70, and then I go up to 75 on this 55 1-lane road, just not really wanting to do that just because it's not comfortable. It's a windy. I'm not enjoying the scenery as much. So I'm going 75 at some points, and then it finally opens up and he passes me right away. And then the road starts to get really hilly eventually, and climbing, I was at full throttle and she was like trying to maintain 65 miles per hour. And I was like, it hit me. I was like, oh, I'm at full throttle right now. And she's like climbing up this hill and she can't get really faster than 65. I share this with you guys just so you can have a realistic expectation of what it's like to ride the KLX300 Supermoto, what it's like to have a 292cc motorcycle. You are going to run into some situations where she's just kind of tapped out. Whether it's a hill or where you just are not really able or willing or able to go faster, than 75 or whatever it is. And, based on where you are, cars might be going faster than you. They might be passing you and you just don't have options, or you're just not willing to stress the engine that much, right? So just understand that, guys. Please, if you take anything from this video, just understand that you don't buy a 300cc motorcycle and expect to just be a speed demon or have all the options available to you and all the comfort available to you. You just don't. You don't have the weight and you don't have the power and you don't have the wind protection and you don't have that top end. So that's what I'll say. Not to take anything away from the KLX. I super love it. I've said it before. It's the most fun I've ever had on a motorcycle, and you don't need power to have fun. Okay. Fun on a motorcycle is a relationship of your skill level and fear and anxiety. Right? So if you have a lot of skill and very low fear and very low anxiety, then you will have fun on a motorcycle. If you have fun on a motorcycle like this, that's very nimble and very quick and very punchy, and you're just not afraid of the bike and you feel like you're in absolute control of it, you're going to have a lot of fun, right? Because most people can't take corners faster than 60 miles per hour anyway, right? And this bike will take corners faster than that if you needed it to. But, most of you are never going to get to that level, to be quite honest, unless you're absolutely practicing all the time, like deliberately practicing the suspension, you're understanding trail braking, you're understanding body position, all of that, right? So I wouldn't even worry about it. Just worry about having fun, worry about removing the fear and the anxiety. And on a machine like this, it's very easy to already go into it with a very low amount of fear and anxiety versus a very big machine. It's like getting on a raging bull, right? There's going to be a decent amount of fear and anxiety to overcome before you're actually having a lot of fun. So very fun on the KLX, guys. I hope this answers your question. Can the KLX300 Supermoto go on the highway? If I have not covered it, if there's something else you want to know, definitely leave it in the comments and we will have that conversation, guys. As always, I wish you happiness. I wish you health. I wish you unlimited joy on your motorcycling journey, wherever it may take you. Thank you so much. I'll see you on the next one. Coming at you real soon. Bye-bye.